Okay, hello everybody. This is me, Darius Anucauskas from Easy Markets, and this is just a quick video idea. This is a recorded session, but look, if you want to join me in my live webinars every morning, 6 o'clock GMT time, of course on our Easy Markets YouTube channel. So where I dig into the markets. I just finished one, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do this separate little piece on the data that's coming out today, just to pick up on something that came out yesterday, and a few instruments that, just like I said, a quick short idea here, or not idea maybe, but the my vision, my view on my analysis on the instruments. But look, before we jump into those charts, into the data, and we need to quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. Just going to mute myself for a little bit, and we can continue. All right. Okay. Also, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. So, look, what I wanted to talk about here, and because not yesterday, on Wednesday. Yesterday I was off. On Wednesday, I did a little piece on the U.S. CPIs, and I think it really kind of got good feedback. I just wanted to inform people about the major upcoming events and everything. So today we don't really maybe have much data, but building permits, I think the week is kind of finishing off with smaller data in from the U.S., like building permits and housing starts. And we're also going to get the Michigan consumer sentiment, but the preliminary number, not the final one. We'll see how that number comes out. In general, this week was the more exciting, and as I said in the beginning of this week in my webinar, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, these were the most exciting days. So, look, just a quick recap. The inflation that came out was 2.9. Basically, core core inflation came out lower than the previous. Headline inflation came out lower than the previous. So, in a way, and that kind of pushed a little bit the whole rate hike or rate cut idea further. And this is what I talked about this morning in my webinar, because it's interesting that that doesn't matter which number it would come out, because if we saw inflation coming out lower, but the stock market pushed higher, and then there's no need for that many cuts, as they were expecting, like 5 cuts by the end of this year. Now we're reduced to 4 again, and maybe even 4 will be too much. And I believe that 4 is going to be too much. So, but even if inflation would come out higher, for example, then also the idea of having more cuts by the end of this year would also diminish. So it's basically, a lower inflation number, but the stock market pushing higher. You don't need that many cuts. Higher inflation, you don't need that many cuts. So either way, this is a very interesting moment that we're going through right now. So yes, but look, in terms of other data that I wanted to mention, that yesterday we got the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, -7. That was not a very good number. Um, however, the retail sales numbers, those were interesting. Those were good. They managed to push, help the stock market push higher. Industrial production was not as good, to be honest. That's a bit of a downer here. But hey, I think retail sales saved the day, and we saw some good action in the indices. Yep, there we go, pushing nicely to the upside here. So today, like I said, let's see if the building permits and housing starts are gonna kind of do additional push, help the indices to go higher, more. So if, for example, we do see a better number, the building permits and housing starts, we're gonna see an increase here. Then yes, of course, that's showing that, hey, even with these current interest rates, we're seeing a push higher. But this is another thing. If the numbers are a little bit, let's say not too much, but a little bit lower, then we could still see a push higher. Why? Because this would kind of maybe stimulate the Fed, or maybe the market would think that this would could stimulate the Fed actually to go for those cuts for sure. And in order to kind of boost, the housing market again, to increase the amount of borrowing for construction, for building houses, for mortgages and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. So bad numbers, a bad number, let's say if it doesn't deviate too much from the previous figure, it still could be seen as a positive, because this could maybe push, the Fed, or towards the hiking. A good number also is could be seen as a good positive thing, because then the stock market could say, hey, we're still going higher, we're still building, we're still, that means that construction material is needed, and we could see the indices pushing higher. So it's, like I said, it's an interesting moment. I think that it's worth watching. Will it be, let's say, as big of a number as yesterday, the retail sales and industrial production? Maybe not, but still worth the watch. And look, the U.S. dollar right now is a little bit wobbly, and this is what I talked about in my morning video today, that I'm not really touching this one. I'm just observing the price action, because again, from the technical perspective, this is yeah, it's stuck between the trend lines. I need to see a clearance of one of those in order to consider the next short-term directional move. And actually, also, I wanted to jump into gold on that. So I want to finish off this little short video with gold, because look, we are also something that I mentioned in my webinar. Currently, if you look at it just from this perspective, we're seeing something of a bullish flag here. We have a pole, we have our little correction here, something that we had like on the Dow here as well. Like, and this is what I mentioned in the beginning of this week. Wait for that clearance. Wait for that push through this barrier, through this 39,750 zone. Look at this, beautiful. Will we get the same thing here on gold? Well, of course, the gold bugs will say yes. Of course, we know what else could we get. What, a down move? I'm not rushing into this. In general, I'm cautiously bullish, but a confirmation break for me is needed. And for me, this downside line, which I was targeting before, and I talked about it as well, this downside line taken from the high of the 17th of July is a good barrier for some higher levels. If that gets cleared, I'm targeting the 2,483. To be honest, and I mean that's the current all-time high, but I don't really think if we clear the downside line, are we just going to stay here? No, I think the 2,500 is the next. It's on everybody's mind. 2,500. I think that we could end up reaching that. But hey, don't rush yet, because again, if this starts falling below the 2,450 zone, which by the way is the highest point of May, if we start dropping and we stay below it, a bit of a retracement here back down could be possible. So that's why I'm not rushing into things yet. It looks like a bullish flag, but a confirmation break is still needed. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I just wanted to pick up on a few like data sets and on US dollar and gold. I hope, like I said, I hope it makes sense. I just wanted to warn you that something is brewing up. And do I think that this could pop today? Look, I'm not excluding anything, because, like I said, the Friday right now is the kind of the wrap up or the aftermath of all the data, all the important data that we had this week. So I'm not excluding a big move on in the commodity world, or specifically in gold or silver. But if it stays, here somewhere below this downside line, next week could be quite an interesting one for this one. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this little take. It's not, like I said, it's not a live session, it's a recorded session, but I just wanted to record it for you. But hey, for the live session, you can always join me 6 o'clock GMT time. So I hope you found it useful. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only which you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you on Monday. So yes, for more of this. And if you have any questions or comments, honestly, feel free to drop a comment below the video. I'll pick up on this one either in the live session or during a recorded session as well. But hey, we'll figure it out. So have a beautiful weekend. Have a should I say have a beautiful training day today. Have a beautiful weekend after. And yep, see you later.